Hey guys, thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting. After interviewing you both, we really like your work. We love your portfolios and what you can do. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to hire you this time because I've actually recently picked up the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the cameras on this is quite great. Have you seen cinematic mode? Well, yeah, so that's what we're going to be going through over the next few weeks. Maybe in the future, maybe some opportunities. So definitely we'll keep you on the list. But for now, go Apple. Thanks for coming. I do hope iPhones aren't actually taking over, but yo, what's going on guys? I hope you are well. So in today's video, as you probably saw from the title and I guess from the intro, we are going to be talking about a rig for my FX3. Now, you're probably going to see a lot more videos, or you probably may have already seen a lot more videos about an FX3 rig and probably a rig that's more built out. However, my rig, and I guess everyone else's rig, is very personal to them to really match how they shoot. Now, I shoot a lot of handheld stuff, but I also go back and forth on the gimbal. So I wanted to create a rig that, one, gives me that weight, so when I am going handheld, I don't get any micro jitters. I have more control of the camera and it feels more sturdy in my hands, but also one that's not too heavy and too complicated that I can easily switch onto a gimbal. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my rig that I use most of the time, and then the same rig that can also go onto the gimbal with minimal changes.
Back to back, hey, where you at? I bring it back down. I like that. It's back to back now.
So starting off, we have the FX3. Now, I actually rarely hold this FX3 just like this. It feels weird holding this like this because I never have it this bare. They did do well, I guess, when they were making it to make it more ergonomic, a much bigger grip than the previous Sony mirrorless cameras. It's a bit heavier, it's quite chunky, especially with the fans and stuff on the side. But yeah, it's just not enough by itself. When you look at the quarter 20 mounts that are there's all these different screw holes. It's great that they've included them, but they're not really in the best position. You can't really do much with them. For example, this one on the side here, yes, it's cool having a mount there, but how are you gonna hold it and put something in? It doesn't really make sense. Same thing on here, on the side you do have the HDMI port, and it's like if you put one there, it's kind of blocking because most things you screw in do have a bit more real estate when they are screwed in, so you can't really even open that door. And then the ones on the top, I guess you could do more with them, but if you want to use the top handle, they're kind of all three gone. Yes, the top handle doesn't take the third one, but when you slide the top handle in, as you'll see later in this video, you can't really do much with that third hole. So overall, it's a good effort, I guess, them placing them there, but if I'm being honest, they are pretty much useless. So the first thing that I did when I did get this camera was put on a cage. So this is the tilter cage for the FX3, and this is one of the first things that I did pick up for the camera. One, for this side handle. So when I was using the FX6 from renting that, I really liked the side handle that you get, being able to swivel it around, and just the actual strap that's on there, just to feel that a little bit more secure. So when you are holding the camera, it's not going to fall out your hands. If someone pushes you from behind, it's not just going to drop. You do have that extra bit of security. So that is one reason. And two, just to have more of the mounting points that can actually be used, just because, as I said, there's all of these on the camera, but you can't really do much with them. So having this cage means I can put things on the front, I can put things on the side, and I do have a hot shoe mount remaining. So if I put this cage on, and what's good about this cage is that everything that you need to actually tighten the cage together is ready there. You don't need to get any multi-tools or use anything external to be able to attach the cage, because it comes with this here, which is just a small metal plate that perfectly allows you to tighten all of your screws that do have the flathead screw, like that, and then just sticks to the bottom so you never lose it. And I thought, it's magnetic, it might fall off when you're shooting, but this is one damn strong magnet, I'm not gonna lie.
It's about to get heavy.
Yeah, that's definitely secure. Yeah, it's a strong magnet. So now that we've got the cage on, we're already feeling more secure. We have more sturdy fit and it fits better. So next I'm gonna put a cage on. A cage? I already have a cage on. I'm gonna put a lens on just so we do have that point of, reference. So this is the Tamron 17-28. Lightweight lens, it does the job, a wide angle zoom, and yes, let's move on to the next part of the build. So What comes with the FX3 when you order it is this great top handle. Now, I really do like this top handle. There's a lot of things I would change on it, but overall, I really do like the top handle. If you want to hear my thoughts about just changes of the FX3 and more in depth of the top handle, I do have that video right there. But the main thing is just, I always think when I'm packing it away that it could break just because this on the side being here, it's just not the best when you are moving this around, packing it inside a backpack or a Pelican case. It's not the best. However, we roll with it. We gotta do what we got. So if we attach that in there, and just a little tip as well, the two protectors that you get on the bottom of the top handle and the top of the FX3 actually slide inside each other, so less chance of you losing them. So put that in, tighten this, and then as we saw before, we have this magnetic plate that we can just screw in there and tighten that. So now we have a near complete FX3. You know, this is what comes with the camera, and this is what I guess they expect you to do. So the top handle, it's not perfect because when you are wanting to mount more things to build a rig, you know, you usually want an external monitor, you may want, I don't know, wireless transmitters, all these different things on the camera. You can't do much because of the way the top handle is formed, it has the two mounts on the top, but then you can't use them if you're gonna grab it. So yeah, that bit didn't really make sense to me. So when I was kind of brainstorming, thinking, how can I make this rig actually work? How can I get what I want out of this? I came up with these two DIY things. Now, this is just like a 1/4-20 extender mount thing, a load of them just screwed together, not really doing much, but I put that at the end. Let's put that in. So now I do have a much more extended grip. So it's not just how it is there. And then on using the front mount, I put this on. This again, it has like the bottom extended bit, and then it is just like a ball head that I flow around. And this would be for the monitor. So now, because I do have this extended bit, I can now actually use one of the holes on the top handle, which I couldn't before if I don't have this extension, which means it's a lot more comfortable when I am carrying it. And it means I can have a monitor on the top and not, you know, not be able to use the top handle how I want to use it. So if we add the monitor, I currently, well, I mainly use a 5" just to keep it more lightweight. As I said, this is something that I do want to use on top of a gimbal, and I do find if I put a 7" it's just a bit too big, although sometimes a 7" is kind of what is needed to see everything a bit clearer. The monitor I use is the Desview R6, 5, something like that. I will have everything linked below so you can check that out. But yeah, that is the base of everything. That's pretty much the main core parts of the rig. Obviously we'll connect everything up, but that is the main everyday rig, I would say. Then when I do want to spice things up, impress a client, or there is a quad of sun, I will use this, and this is the Tilta Mirage matte box, which I think is one of the most perfect matte boxes you can get, especially for a small setup like this. Like, because I've used the other ones, even the small rig, I don't know what it's called, but the small rig matte box that's for, I guess, mirrorless cameras, it's just still a bit too big. It's just not quite low profile. So this one, really easy to disembark, I guess term. Pull that out, and you have all these different step-up rings for your lenses. So this actually screws on to your lens. You can use it, mounting it with like the bottom rods and all that stuff. But again, I wanted this small and lightweight, so I don't want all of the rods. I don't want an external battery. Just give me the camera as small as possible, but with as many functions as possible. So this screws directly onto the lens. And then the matte box, which way up that way, would go into it there. Let's just make sure that's straight. Yep. Tighten that. And there we are. Now I have the matte box on it. As you can see, it's a low profile matte box. It's not massively big. Like all the other ones, they stretch out really wide, or they're just too big. Whereas this fits perfectly to keep everything quite low profile. So as you know, the FX3 does have a full HDMI port, so this is the cable that I'm currently using. I actually do have another one ordered, which is a lot smaller, just because I do find this isn't the best. You know, it does the job, it's extendable, you can stretch it out, but it never actually wants to stretch out because obviously it's curled up. But for now, and for the last, I guess, 6 months, it has been doing the job perfectly. I use right angle adapters as well, just so I can have this all tidy. So if I connect this here, that's connected there, and what I would do usually is just like wrap it under somewhere and go, and then connect this here. So it still doesn't get in the way, it keeps it fairly tidy, but again, I would probably just want a smaller one that literally goes from here to here, still using the right angle adapters, but yeah, just so it is directly from here to here, and I don't have to wrap all of this, just so it looks a bit tidier. The cable itself works fine, but yeah, that there is about 80% done. The last thing to do is the microphone, but I'm using that now, so I'm not going to put that in yet. This here pretty much is the entire rig. Again, obviously I will put the microphone in shortly, but for your basic handheld rig, this pretty much does everything I need it to. It's not too expensive, I didn't have to add too many things onto it. I chose not to get a side handle just because this grip does the job that I need it to, and I can rack focus when I need to. The matte box, again, I'm not using this all the time. It's more for when I do need to cut out some flares or just impress a client, as you know. The monitor sits on top here. I wish I could get the monitor a bit lower, but because of where the mic goes in, this is literally like the tightest angle I can go, because I prefer having more of a flat monitor as opposed to at this angle. We have to work what we got. Obviously, Sony has limited us with this top handle. But yeah, that is pretty much the main rig. So I'll now show you how I can transform this from a handheld rig over to my gimbal setup.
Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, get it, get it, get it, get it.
So as you can see, the gimbal is in full operation. You know, we let it do its dance and calibrate, and now we can go freely into underslung mode with complete clearance. Now to achieve this, I did have to take the back extension off of the top handle, and I had to remove, or not remove, but slide the mic quite far forward, so that would be an issue if I did have quite a wide angle lens. But to counteract this issue, all I need to do is get a right angled XLR cable. The other issue that I did kind of have, and what I mentioned earlier, is just the HDMI cable is just a bit too long. So having all that excess cable is a bit annoying. So again, I'll just get a shorter one, but that is it. It works. You know, I can go from tripod, handheld to gimbal, all from just a small quick release plate because I have matched them all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you have got a lesson, laugh, or a light bulb moment from this video, I'd really appreciate if you drop a like down below. And if you're feeling extra nice, you could hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, I will catch you in the next one. See ya.